Hey, William Gilmore here for the ScreenwritersJourney.com. It is day 360 of the journey. 360 days, 6 days to go before the end of the 1 year online odyssey to sell a screenplay. Probably not going to sell a screenplay in the last 6 days, but it has been a really good year so far, and the last couple of days have been really, really good on the screenwriting front. I did get through about 15 pages leading into tonight's reading at Rewrite's Writers Group. I was hoping for 30 pages altogether since the last post. Excuse me. And I got through about 20. I got through 20 pages, but some of that was, I had to cut out and trim back down and reordered some scenes. Lots of new material went in, a whole new sequence of things went into this little section that I was working on. And it got me up to about page 90. So although there was about 20 pages of work through the whole section, it culminated in about 15 pages. So I'm going to call it 15. I would love to call it 20, but if I'm honest, we'll just say 15 because that's what the finished product was. So that 15 pages plus the 15 pages that I got through 2 days ago, that's 30. That's my minimum quota for the month. So I got my 30 pages for the month. Plus I got another 2 pages in earlier in the month, so 32 pages. So I'm working on the deficit for July, and I still have a few days to go before this month is out. What I got through today was a really good section. Like I said, that brings me up to about page 90. And the script is running about 117 pages still. I was afraid it was going to increase after the work today, but I pulled enough stuff out that brought it back down to 117. So still kind of holding in that area. There's a lot that I think can come out of the whole script action-wise. It's a little overwritten, so pulling that stuff out, we'll lose some pages. I'd like to get it down to 105. I probably won't get that by the end of the month, but I will have it completed. If I can get another 15 pages tomorrow, which would be a really good count if I can get through that. That only leaves me about 15 pages to go to finish the script, and I can probably do that over this weekend. So I should definitely have the script, a rough draft of this new version completed by the end of the month, which would give me 3 screenplays for the year, which is a pretty good turnout, I think. I still have to get there, but it's going really well. I took in 10 pages from what I'd written previously into rewrites tonight, and they went over really well. They did start asking some questions. The other writers did start having some questions about things. Most of their questions will be answered in the next 10 pages, but the fact that they're asking about those things now means they're probably getting a little antsy for some of these answers, and so maybe I need to go back and maybe pull some of those things a little sooner, put a few answers in earlier. Not a lot, just to sprinkle a couple in so that they feel like they're getting some answers as they're going along and not just being strung along in this sort of mysterious plot. It can't just be all questions and then everything gets revealed at the end. You got to seed it a little bit, give them a little bit to want them to keep wanting to find out more. I don't think that's a big problem just yet, but the fact that they're just now starting to ask those questions and going, we need some kind of resolution means I need to answer some of those questions, I think. That'll probably take place in the rewrites coming up. I need to get through the story first and try and get everything in there. One of the things I noticed today as I was writing new sections, I was coming up with ideas like, wow, this would be a really cool thing to slip in here, a nice little character bit or a little hint of story. And I had some reverse rippling. In order to reveal those things or put those things in, they're going to need some setup earlier, so I had to go back to earlier pages and do a little insert here or there just to set those things up so that when they pop up here, they make sense and they understand why. It's something you have when you're doing your rewrites and you change something early in the script that has a ripple effect that moves all the way through to the end, and you have to look for all those ripples and make sure that they're all accounted for and adjusted properly. This was sort of the reverse of that by putting something in the end that hadn't really been set up yet. cool ideas, but I had to go back and look for ripples earlier in the script and try and adjust those. I'm sure I've missed some here and there, so that's something when I go through the rewrites I'll have to be looking for. But overall, a really good, productive couple of days, and really good feedback from the other writers at the writers group. So things are moving forward, progressing nicely, and hopefully by the end of this weekend I'll have a completed script. I will have enough pages left over at this point that I can probably do another 4 weeks at rewrites with this to complete hearing it out loud. And about that time, the other writers group, Tuesdays at 9, will be starting up. So I've got to jump on the stick and get some pages for a new script going so I can be taking things in there once that starts up. And then, of course, if I want to continue going with rewrites, I'll have to have another project underway shortly thereafter. So and I've got several ideas that I'm working on and playing around with that I've done some writing on, writing openings or writing a few scenes here and there. And it's going to be trying to figure out which ones that I have more fully realized in my head that I can actually continue with. Some of them are just sort of random ideas, and maybe something the other may not be. So it's a constant issue. You're never caught up because you're always trying to find that next project and write that next piece, and that's one of the issues going forward. It's been a little easier since I haven't been working steadily over the summer, so I've had a lot more time to go for the writing, except that I haven't because I overloaded myself with other projects. So with the fall season starting, hopefully there'll be some steady work coming up, which will cut into the writing time. So I will probably reevaluate what I'm doing with the Screenwriter's Journey in the coming year and see what changes I can make. I've got a good steady base now. I've got a good solid base with 3 screenplays that I can market, so I can do a lot more with marketing now. And that's something that I wanted to do earlier, but there was so much work going on in those scripts and rewriting and trying to fix things and get them to a place that I really thought they could be marketed that the marketing got delayed a lot more than I had anticipated. But I think coming into this new year of the Screenwriter's Journey that I will be able to focus more on the marketing of those scripts while trying to come up with new scripts and going through the whole process again. So there'll be some reevaluating on how I go about the process and time management and what exactly I want to present on the website as far as the journey that happens after the 1-year odyssey. So look for some changes coming in September on format and how things happen on the website. And I'm not sure exactly what those are yet. I've got some ideas. I'm working on those. I have to find some time to fully flesh those out. But right now, the priority is finishing up this script, The Devil's Tramping Ground, and getting that ready for its first round of rewrites. So it's just an ongoing, never-ending process, and you really can't stop. You hear the thing from writers all the time that a writer has to write every day. Maybe not every day. You've got to give yourself some breaks in there because you have other things going on in your life that you have to take care of, and that's one of the big things that I really learned this year. I'll get into all of this more as I do a year-end wrap-up, but all those things are starting to percolate and starting to bubble up in my head as I'm thinking about them, along with trying to get this screenplay done. So that's all I have for right now. It's been a good couple of days. I expect this weekend to be a very, very good weekend, hopefully, and we'll take it from there and see where the journey takes us next. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. I am William Gilmore for the Screenwriter's Journey. Please let me know how you're doing in your own writing, and if you're not letting me know, you need to be writing. So keep it up. I'll see you next time.